We are live, Francis.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the globe. Today, the 1st of September 2024, it is your darling program, The Comrade and Friends, a segment of The Comrade Show. And like most Nigerians, we always say the first day of the month, we always want to say Happy New Month. So I dare join Nigerians to say Happy New Month to everybody and to our wonderful viewers. Today on The Comrade Show, it promises to be yet another important one. We shall be looking at the Labour Party candidate Olumide Akpata, who only a few weeks ago brought his manifesto out. So today's discussion will be on his manifesto, which he has christened My Path with Edo State People. We shall be looking in depth into that and also letting us know of what is happening around his campaign team. You remember today, like I said, is the 1st of September, and in 20 days' time, by the grace of God, the elections to governorship position in Edo State is scheduled for September 2021, which means by implication, we have only 20 days to go. We shall be talking about this, and I have three important guests in the house to help us dissect the manifesto and to tell even the least in Edo State what this manifesto portends or holds for them. Do not touch that die. We shall be with you just now.
Experience account for this life. No experience, no progress. For this election, experience to go vote. Make Edo State better again. Now who get the experience? Olumide, Akpata. Now a guy, Osaigbovo. He ready to walk. Akpata. Promise keeper. Olumide. Everybody like him. Akpata. Everybody vote. Osaigbovo. Vote. Akpata.
My good people of Edo State, our eye don't say as everything be now. The sofa don't too much. Now Olumide Akpata will get experience and him ready to work to make Edo State better again. Now we go vote. Olumide say our children's school go better well. Hospital go work. Medicine go dey yamfu. Good road, light, water, all go dey kampe. Security na pamba. Him go support farmer, traders. Well. Make food jabrata. Olumide Akpata. Now our guy
Everybody vote. Akpata.
Vote Olumide Akpata for governor. Vote Labour Party.
Yes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, today is the 1st of September 2024 and exactly 20 days to the Edo State election. And we shall be looking at the manifesto of the Labour Party candidate, Barrister Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata. But I have in the house very important people who will help us do justice to that. Let me bring and present to you the chairman of Labour Party UK, former governorship aspirant himself in the Labour Party, no other but a strong committed, a strong man who believes in the growth and development of our country, Nigeria, and specifically Edo State. No other but Prince Dr. Egbe Omodion. Prince Egbe Omodion, can you say hello to our wonderful viewers, please?
Hello, viewers. Greetings to you all wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I salute you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Good to be in your midst. I can see you are wearing your cap. I always love it. You are controlling the resource, isn't it? Thank you so much for joining us. We also have all the way from the northern part of England another very good friend to the house, good friend to the campaign, and a good friend to Edo State as well. And I dare say also a very good friend to Olumide Akpata, who has known him for a very long number of years. No other but Dr. Oro. Dr. Oro, can you say hello to our viewers, please?
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Dr. Oro Aluku. It's nice being on the show, and I promise I'm sure we're going to have an exciting time today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oro. You are looking very good. I hope Manchester and the north of England is doing well. Thank you. And of course, we have our regular face, the CNC of the Comrade Show, no other but Comrade Lante Kponsaraki. Comrade Lante, as we get ready to dissect the manifesto of the Labour Party, can you say hello to our viewers?
Thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremira. Yes, Edo State and Nigerians across the world, greetings to you all. Please, if you are joining help share this broadcast, let's look at the nitty-gritty, the matter and the cocoa in the matter. You know the drill. Let's keep sharing. God bless you. Over to you, Pharmacist.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamptey. Just before we go to the thick of the matter, which is the manifesto of the Labour Party and Olu's pledges and promises, I want to also let our viewers know that just now, In the last few days, I think yesterday, today, and maybe tomorrow, the Edo National Association, Edo National Association Worldwide, often referred to as ENA, they are having their regular interaction and meeting. And I think Barrister Olumide is there as well. He's also discussing some part of North America, United States to be precise, drumming support and talking to Edolites in the diaspora. Komelanto, if we have that clip, we can just let our viewers see it.
For yet another convention, yet another demonstration of your purpose. You have sustained this for decades, and you are recognized as probably the largest gathering of Edo people in the diaspora. I am proud of you. I am privileged to be your guest. I was here last year. I received the invitation to be here this year. As many of you would imagine, this is not the most ideal time for me to be in this city or Edo State. But I purposed in my mind, in my heart, that if only to identify, I will make out time. You will make out time for things you care for. Yes. And so I will make out time. It wasn't easy. I actually just arrived from Paris 2 hours ago. I had to leave Lagos and go to Paris and then get here. Quickly went to my room to change to be here because I want to be here. I want to be here. I thank you for this invitation. There's no doubt in my mind that Edo State will make great progress if we tap into the potential that exists in the diaspora. Edo State will go far if we tap into the potential that is in this room. We are smart people, we are great people, anywhere we are. And whenever, in all of my campaigns, and by the way, since the last time you saw me, I emerged as the candidate of the Labour Party on the 23rd of February. And we also have in the room here our Deputy Governor candidate, Alhaji Yusuf Asama Kadiri, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And in all our travels, in all our engagements, people ask us, what do you want to do about the diaspora? I say Edo State government or any government in Edo State needs the diaspora more than the diaspora needs the government. That is my honest opinion. I understand that the Diaspora Commission law has been passed. You can be sure that any government that I lead will operationalize that commission immediately. It is in our interest to ensure that the diaspora and the state government are working hand in hand. I will stop there because this is not the time or place.
Yes, our viewers. I just wanted to show us that is Barrister Olumide Akpata and the deputy governorship candidate in faraway North America, Detroit, Michigan to be precise, drumming support in the ENA convention, and is going to have a lot of town hall meetings in few states dotted across. Just to let you know that he is not resting. And like he said, for those you care about, you make effort to try to see them. He enumerated this long itinerary of traveling, but he felt it was important to have that diaspora engagement. Having visited United Kingdom, Europe, and it's now the turn of North America. Hopefully in the next 1 or 2 days, he will return back to Nigeria where the campaign again will continue. As an aside, that was just an information for our teaming viewers. Also to let you know the plans and you know the drill. Please share our broadcast, listen, and at some point we're going to open the lines for you to ring in. Let us hear what you have to say. 20 days is just what separates us from the next governor of Edo State. So enough of that said, let us go to the tick of today's matter, which is the manifesto of the Labour Party. Beautifully tagged, Barrister Olumide Akpata, my part with Edo State people as we drum support and ask indeed for your vote. I have read the manifesto inside out. I must say I'm very pleased. It is a 27-page document. And what is very important are 8 promises or pledges that the team of the Labour Party, led by Barrister Olumide Akpata, they are going to, or they are saying they will do to Edo State people. And I think it's very important that we hold those 8 things, because they will form the fulcrum of his government, and that will be a yardstick for us to judge if indeed he has done well. He has said on many occasions that the manifesto took some time to come out because he was listening to Edo State people and want to get them involved. I must say, before I bring our panelists in to talk about it, that I'm very intrigued with the first promise and the last one. I'm very intrigued with the last one because that seemed a bit like an open-ended topic, and I think it's very visionary and wise from the campaign team and Barrister Olumide to put that in, talking specifically of other essential infrastructure. I think there's a lot to say about that. But let it not be a monologue. It's going to be a discussion where very important people who have got huge experience and knowledge in these things, we have to say a word or two. So, Barrister Prince Dr. Igbe Omodion, are you excited? What is it about the manifesto that is important to you?
Well, greetings once again to everyone listening out there. The manifesto is titled My Pact with the People of Edo State. So it's a kind of contract between the candidates and the people. And a contract, as you know, is very important so that tomorrow we have some landmark as to what we use to compare and contrast achievements. Now, there are so many manifestos out there, both from former aspirants and all, but this one that Barrister Olumide Akpata have released have concrete agenda in them, agenda items, which when the time comes, I will talk about it. But the most important is that it follows his principal ideal of bringing the people back to the center of politics, which means all the policies, even the manifesto itself reflects that vision. So when we get to that point, we'll talk about it. That's what is most exciting for me, is the fact that the people are actually the fulcrum, at the central piece of the manifesto itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince Dr. Mio Modio. I cannot agree with you less. I think the people, of course, Labour Party refers Mama, Papa, and Pikin. Dr. Oro, are you excited like Prince Dr. Egbe Omorodio about this manifesto released by the Labour Party and by Oludi?
Oh, very much so. I'm very, very excited seeing this pact that Olumide has made with the people of Edo State. It's interesting because if you have been following his campaigns so far, you would see that he deliberately has delayed bringing the manifesto up until this point. Why? Because he has been consulting. And, that document, unlike the typical manifesto, there's a build up to it. And the build up, is very clear where he says this is a people-centered manifesto, is people-focused. And you see, because even in the manifesto, at the time he wrote the manifesto, he said, look, in the last year, I've been around Edo State 4 times, and we know he's actually on his feet. It shows commitment. It shows seriousness on his part, because don't forget, because of the sort of governance the Edo Lights have received since 1999, which is the last 25 years, there's a lot of apathy. There's a lack of belief. People look at manifestos and say, well, they can just write what they want, but they are not going to keep to it. But what is most unique about this manifesto is that Olumide is already planting the seeds that will show people that they will be at the center of his government, and most importantly, he will be accountable to his people. That is something that has been completely lost in the sort of politics that we've experienced since 1999. So yes, I'm very excited.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oro. You've added another dimension. Not just that it's people-centric, there's a level of accountability, and that is what Oludi stands for. Komilante Kpawosaraki, I know you've been itching to talk. You are the man in the local government. You've been pushing for the manifesto to come out. For over 2 weeks now, the manifesto is out. What is your immediate reaction? Are you super excited or superiorly excited?
Yeah, no, pharmacist, God bless you, my brother. And of course, greetings to all comrades here. Pharmacist, just to equally let you know that Comrade Mike Oshaw is in the house, and of course, he's going to add his voice to this subject matter. But you know, for the question you asked, look, I think I am more than excited because there is an unusual twist to this process. The twist is that Olu is breaking away from the tradition. And the tradition has always been that the candidates come out to say, this is what I have for the people of Edo State, for the people of Nigeria. I have engaged Olu severally on this matter of his manifesto. And he told me, say, comrade, I am not going to chew for the people. That's what politicians have always done. Okay, they decide for the people how it suits them. He has said the people must be involved in the process itself. The people are the ones that are going to generate most of what we are going to do. So he said he was going to consult, meet with the people. Olu has traversed the length and breadth of Edo State at least 4 times, and is going to do so again even before elections. And in the course of doing this, he said, I have spoken with paramount rulers, spoken with chiefs, with enigis, with the people that actually feel the brunt of governance, to ask them, what is the most germane thing, what is the most important thing that you think should be government presence in this community, in that constituency, in that village, in this area, and all of that. All of these things are part of the things that formed the body of Olu's manifesto. And in recent days, Olu said to me, he said, comrade, manifesto is out. Manifesto has encapsulated the collective wish of the people of Edo State. And the manifesto you see, he told me, said, it is going to be my Bible when I become the governor of Edo State, which means that I'm not going to go away from this manifesto. I'm always going to consult this manifesto to govern Edo State, because the manifesto carries the entirety of the collective will of the people of Edo State. That's why I say this man is breaking traditions and giving us a new approach to what governance is. So when you say, if I'm excited, honestly, that's an understatement. Believe you me, I am over the moon as far as this matter is concerned. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte, and I believe by 21st of September, you would have come down from the moon and be physically present and happy that Edo has given birth to something new and different when Olu becomes governor. So thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. Like Comrade Lamte said, to the entire house and to our viewers, we have a very big elephant joining us all the way from Nigeria. No other but Engineer Mike Oshaw, former SUG President, University of Benin, and himself a former candidate for Labour Party wanting to be governor before Olumide became victorious in that struggle. And he has always kept faith with the team and is a strong supporter of the Labour Party and Olumide candidacy. Michael Shaw, can you say hello to our viewers and just give your immediate take to the issue of manifesto?
I think that there's a glitch. I think he has his video has gone out of the frame again. So hopefully when it comes back again, you recognize.
All right, no problem. For our viewers, friends of the Comrade Show, Michael Shaw is joining us from Nigeria, and like you know, once in a while, Nigeria will happen to us in terms of network. But as soon as he joins, we'll get him to put his mouth in this issue. As we begin now to talk about the manifesto, like I said, a 27-page document with 8 big lines and big prayers and big Bible quotation, like Comrade Lamte said, with which we are going to hold Olu responsible and with which he has promised to deliver to Edo State people haven't gone round. I just want to read the 8 items and we'll begin to take them one after the other. Hopefully in the course of the program, we'll be able to go through all of them. Number 1, there is economy and job creation. He has promised to revitalize the economy and to create jobs. Number 2, roads and related infrastructure. Number 3, electricity and energy access. Number 4, agriculture and food security. Number 5, education. Number 6, health care. Number 7, security of life and properties. And number 8, this excites me the most, and I will let us know, other essential infrastructure. So to me, that looks like an open-ended one. So whenever he sees anything, he will fit it in. So these are the 8 promises that Olu and the team has made to Edo State people. And he has said in very clear terms, he's going to follow these promises, these pledges, and this pillar strict to census. I know we are doing everything to discuss their Komelamte. Like we said, we are going to just quickly, not in any particular order, but to take on security of life and property. I think you have that on cue. So on security of life and property, I like this very well because an unsecured state cannot be governed. An unsecured premises cannot be governed. And Barrister Olumide has identified this. In fact, security is plaguing the entire Nigeria, Edo State not left out. What is your take, Prince Dr. Egbe Omorodion, on security of life and property as a fulcrum of Olumide's campaign promises to the people of Edo State?
Security of life and property is definitely one of the most important constitutional responsibility of the governor. So bringing that in as number 1 is definitely apt. The people in Edo State, okay, are always in perpetual fear. I will be in Edo State in a few days. Some of the anxieties that my wife expresses are the fact that, are you sure it is safe? Are you sure you are not taking too much risk? We are not in a jungle. We are in a society with a government that has all infrastructures in terms of policing, in terms of, but at the end of the day, the people are being kidnapped like there is no security. The governor is going to bed, the current government, they are going to bed to sleep with security for themselves and their families and cronies only. So definitely the ordinary person in Edo State wants security. Okay, there are different kinds of security apart from the physical one. People do not have full security. The reason I'm saying this is many years ago, a gentleman called Maslow came up with what he called the hierarchy of needs. What does the average human being need? These have been studied, these scientifically studied, and the result was that human beings need certain physiological needs in life. One of them is food. We do not have food security. A hungry man is an angry man.
Therefore, Prince, stay on security now because the next one is agriculture, where we'll talk more about food.
Good. So in terms of security, like I said, the principal responsibility of the governor is to secure lives and properties. Right now, as we speak, you and I know that lives and properties in Edo State are not secured. Why? Because anyone can be kidnapped at any time in Edo State. The same people, for example, the current government, they've installed security and control room. They've got some CCTV in Ring Road. How many people have been kidnapped in Ring Road? Most of the kidnappings are done on our highways, on our motorways. There is no plan to curb it, especially in the same area it's happening. So I'm happy that Olumide Akpata have brought this as very important in his manifesto as one of the most crucial items, because once we feel secure, then we can begin to address other matters. So I won't take it too long. Security is the most important thing. Lives and properties. The last thing you want is to be in your house and not feel safe. One of the reasons many of us in the diaspora, when we go home, we have a lot of anxieties about where we are going to stay. Hotel business is booming in Edo State, not because people want to stay in hotel, because it is the safest place to be. So people can't even stay in their own houses without security because they can hoodlums can step in there. On top of that, the political insecurity that is being aroused by our political juggernauts, the APC and PDP, is creating so much tension that we need somebody to come and diffuse that tension. And I believe Olumide Akpata will do that. And his manifesto clearly expresses that intention. So I will leave it there for now so that other people can contribute.
Thank you, Prince. I'm very conscious of time. Just to also say that under security, there are five pillars there that he has talked about. He says security funding. He's talked about how it's going to generate security. It's going to generate fund for security. It's going to improve the welfare of these security personnel. We know that most of our security personnel, their welfare is very poor, hence they don't give full time to their job or full dedication to their job. He has also talked about improving interagency coordination, because many of our agencies appear to be operating independently. There is no collaboration. He has also talked of reforming security network. Of course, we know that the current governor uses this security network to do what they like. But I think Olu will be different, because it's like he said, his arrangement is more people-centric. And whatever group, whatever agency is forming for security will be more of the people. And he also talked about zero tolerance for cultism, realizing that Edo State has become like the focal point now for cultism. I'm not going to, Komilante, I won't be coming to you to talk about this, but I just want to go to Dr. Oro. On security, you studied in Nigeria, you know every stuff, and you know what's happening. Even though you are from Delta State, you are quite committed to, you know, the old Bender State. As we wrap up on security, because that is key, and we've already said that is key, what do you have to say regarding Olu's commitment to zero tolerance to cultism? Because we know that's where problem starts from.
Yes. Thank you, my family. Obviously, I studied in University of Benin, as you say, and I know what the menace of cultism is. My understanding is that it is even getting worse. But you cannot. If we go to the nitty gritty of what has been happening, because we know that the slide, the deterioration that we're seeing in the country, it's all related. Security cannot be divorced from a very poor economy. And so we know that, whereas the university is a place where young minds are trained, where young minds are groomed, where young minds are made to believe that they can rule the world, they can come up with ideas, people would appreciate it, and that will make significant impact both for them and for the people around them. But unfortunately, we know that there's been a continuous decline, which this rot, we see it in universities, and this has contributed very greatly to people now, young men in university, believing that actually they need to be in a cult to be important, that they need to be in a cult to have respect from their peers. Whereas if they were focusing on the main issues, and which is really about education, about research and things like that, then they will have less time to focus on autism, and they will be focused more on developing their minds, and ultimately that will help to develop their environment around them, and the immediate one being Edo State. So I know, we all know what happened when Olumide went for a visit to see some of the staff in Uniben. We knew, we all heard about what happened, where certain other people tried to disrupt the meeting, and who did they use? Cultists. Olu himself, he was in Uniben. He understands how the system works. He knows why people go into cultism. And if you see in his response, he was even appealing to these young men to say, look, I understand where you guys are coming from. I've passed through this system, but what we really need, especially from the university, even for the whole of Edo State, is for people to reorientate their minds and focus on what is important. And I know it's going to take time to get that message across. But Olu coming in, by the grace of God, being the next governor from the hopefully 22nd of September, it will make people believe again in their society, in their ability, and hopefully the focus will not be on cultism. But I know he has been very clear that he's going to have a zero tolerance because he would not want his government disrupted in any way, by nefarious activity from cultists.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Oro. I'm conscious of time, but I also want us to go through all the eights. So at some point, I'm not going to be calling on everybody to talk about it. Security is very key. Olumide has made that promise, and that must be kept. And it's very important to stop this happening, at least from schools. That was why I wanted you to comment on that. So, Komilante, thank you so much. We are just going to go straight to the second pillar. I don't want you to make a comment on this now, just to save time so we can talk about everything. This one is very important. I know it's very important to you. That's why I'm starting with you. Agriculture and food security. That's number 4 of the pledge by Olumide Akpata. Komilante, take it off from there. Agriculture and food security. I know you are super excited. What would this be for Edo State and indeed Nigeria?
Well, my brother, thank you so very much. Honestly, like you said, and rightly so, I am very excited. I am really pleased with the content, of the manifesto on agriculture and food security. Recently, we are very much aware of what is happening across Nigeria. Just less than a month ago, Nigerians came out to protest. And the protest was against hunger, and everybody's hungry. People cannot afford food anymore. Some people have, as we speak right now, there are some people in Edo State who probably have not eaten since morning. Some may have eaten, and quite a lot of people don't even know where the next meal is going to come from. There is so much food insecurity in the land. And as a matter of fact, that is what these politicians, the traditional politicians, have caused the nation. They have impoverished the nation so much so that today, when they throw, a morsel of bread at people, they just rush at those things. You understand what I'm saying now? Now, what Olu has done, which again is a break from the norm, having transversed the length and breadth of the state, has now put, a framework together to say, a major cardinal objective of his governance has to do with, declaring state of emergency on agriculture. Now, as I talk about Olu's manifesto, okay, don't mind me that I'm going to be talking about some private conversations I've had with him. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? As part of some of the things he wants to do. I have, in my own private broadcast, asked a question. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And that question had been, now, Obaseki, for instance, has been governor for 8 years. And a bag of garri right now is now over 100,000 naira. The other day, during the protest, the governor addressed the state and laid all the blames on the federal government as to why food is expensive in Edo State. Now, the question that Olu put to me privately was, you can't be a governor and the people cannot say that because of your policies and programs, a bag of garri is cheaper by 1 naira, or it's cheaper by 10 naira, or it's cheaper by 10,000 naira. If that is not so, it therefore means that you must take part of the blame. It therefore means that you can be adjudged to have failed, because you cannot just be a governor to be receiving and people cannot feel the impact of what you are dispensing. Now, this is what Olu wants to do. Olu, you can't talk about security just now. The framework of Olu security, plan is a lot larger than even what we have discussed. You know what I'm saying now? It's not a microcosm. It is all encompassing. Olu wants to attack. He wants to secure our farmland. We are hungry today because farmers are no longer able to go to their farm because of the menace of herdsmen, of marauders in our farms. People that have laid siege on our farms. Olu wants to ensure that all of those marauders are booted out of our farms, encourage our farmers to go to their farms. He wants to provide soft loan to our farmers to go back to the farms, okay, and start planting again. Now, we have always heard of government giving loans to farmers. Now, what Olu has said, that his government will be an off-taker in this matter. They are not just going to give you loans to go and farm, and whatever happens, they are not interested anymore. No, Olu is saying in his own manifesto that when we give loans, we are interested in how you dispense the loans, what you did with the loan, the output of the loan, And he has said that his government will buy the products from the farmers. Okay? Bring those products down to the final consumers in Edo State with a policy that this arrangement is to feed Edo State people first, Edo State people second, Edo State people third, which means that from what Olu is saying is that government is going to create her own market, okay, for Edo State people to go and buy at a cheaper rate than what is in general, because government have invested, government have banned these things out now so that Edo State people can have food to eat. So in future, when Nigeria may say that they are going out to go and protest, against, a high cost of living, particularly as it relates to food, Edo State people may just join out of solidarity, not because they are hungry. That is the vision of Olu. That's one. The second aspect is that Olu has identified, and he has stated so clearly, even in his manifesto, that agriculture will employ everybody. The value chain of agriculture is going to get Edo State people highly employed. My fear with Olu's manifesto on agriculture, my real fear, okay, which I've not discussed with anybody, is that if Olu pulls through with what he has promised in his manifesto, my worry would be that let the whole of Nigeria not come and reside in Edo State and put pressure on these goodies that we expect from Olu's government. That would be my only fear. Otherwise, agriculture, what he has said, if he carries them through, my brother, Edo State people will troop the street and beg Olu to come back again and govern Edo State. God bless you.
Comrade, I am not afraid of your fears. I pray that your fears materialize. Let Edo State become the food capital of Nigeria. That will be good for us. We are going to leave this topic very quickly, but I want to call on Prince Egbo. You were saying something about
Michael Shaw is in this house. So.
I'm aware Michael Shaw is there, but I'm going to just want to go quickly to Doctor. You were trying to talk about food security, and I asked you to wait. Can you just add one or two things to this before we go straight to the next one, which is education?
Thank you so much, because it's actually a very passionate area for me as well. But Comrade Lantern have done great justice to it already. So I won't spend most of our time on it, except to add that it is not just a program. What we're about to see from Olumide's manifesto, as far as agriculture is concerned, is a revolution. It can create so much job that we'll be asking people to come from other states to come and work in Edo State. In addition, he equally also made allusions to it, is the fact that there will be cooperatives set up to buy back these agricultural products from the farmers. So to some extent, without having any interference with pricing, the government has some control over how much goods are sold. Because when we buy it, the government can now say this is the amount with which we intend to sell it. And then we can now extract promises from those traders, the final buyers, that we do not want you to make more profit than this so that people can afford it. And that is why we are selling it to you at this price as well. And the fear that Comrade Lantern expressed is definitely genuine, because it is going to happen. But it is a positive fear. It is something good to happen. So definitely, Pharmacy Austin was very right to say that we should not be afraid of that, because that is a positive sign that things are happening. And the more people that will come, the more land we have, we will show them how to do it. They can either go back to their own state and replicate it, or they will stay in Edo and work with us. What is wrong with that? Thank you. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm very conscious of time. I just want to also add that if you have that manifesto, there's a final point it puts there. It says boost commercial viable export value chain, spanning of oil palm, cassava, rubber, and cashew. This guy, he gets sense. He has identified those very important cash crop that will revitalize Edo State. But let us just go in quick succession. Engineer Michael Shaw, are you still in the house?
Yes, so
I want to hear your voice. Good to see you.
I did here full ground though.
No problem. And I'm coming to you now. Of the 8-part arrangement that Olu has sent to Edo State people, number 5 on that is education. And I would have thought that if the current government has done a lot, I don't think education would have been something that would be put in his manifesto. But of course, there is a glory name called Edo Best, and many people are calling it Edo Worst or Edo Non-Exist. As somebody that I know, you schooled in Edo State, and you were not just a student, you were a student leader. I'm not aware. Maybe you have other degrees outside Nigeria, but I know you have schooled in Edo State. And I think of all the people in the panel today, you are more fitting to start on this topic of education. And Olu has said that he's going to face three core things. We don't have good schools. Bread and brick and mortar is very important. Development of teachers and the environment. So, Michael Shaw, education as an arrangement. What do you have to say in this manifesto that excites you?
Yeah, thank you so much. In fact, having discussed with Olumide himself severally, and then having the privilege to be the chairman of Olumide Kadiri Students Outreach Committee, you can be rest assured that I'm excited, to seize us into what I might call the magic formula of Olumide to transform human capital development, because that is what Olumide calls it. Education and health are two things I have seen Olumide combine during campaigns to explain to people that human capital development is key to development. When you are talking of empowerment of people, you must talk about education. When you are talking about job creation, you must talk about education, because education in the prison of Olumide is skill acquisition. That is what he sees education to be: acquisition of necessary skills that are required by the job market to service Edo economy. Therefore, Olumide has both latitude and longitude programs of education that will develop manpower for Edo economy and ensure that we have the requisite manpower, to power every sector of Edo economy. And that is why, if you read through his program, you will see that his program ranges from primary education to university level or to tertiary education level. At the primary level, Olumide wants a situation where the foundation of the Edo child is very solid. Therefore, beyond the normal academic curriculum that you used to see at the primary level, Olumide wants to take us to those days of Ambrose Ali, those days of Ogbemudia, where children, including myself as a kid in a primary school in LLA village, we were taught crafts. We were taught how to make all sorts of crafts, and that is the kind of education Olumide is looking forward to. Technical education right from primary school. When I was a kid, we had a blind man in my village teaching us all sorts of crafts. How to dye clothes, and how to make cane chairs, how to make mats, and the rest of them. So Olumide wants to reject the primary education, provide them with the educational infrastructure that they need. Of course, provide them the necessary amenities, because it is not just the building. There are equipments necessary for primary, secondary, and tertiary institution. Olumide wants to invest massively in this. Olumide also wants to reduce the level of theoretical knowledge acquisition. A system of possess certificate, but you have no skills of employable. You leave secondary school, you are not employable. Olumide wants to end that. He wants a situation where our technical colleges in Edo State are properly developed. More technical colleges are set up. The essence is to teach young Edo sons and daughters, teach them skill acquisition in technical areas. A mechanic should get his training at the secondary school level. An electrician should get his training at secondary school level. So you are in secondary school, you will be having equipment, or your school may even be converted to a technical college where you have the option of you want to learn to be a technician, or you want to proceed to the university or polytechnics. The choice is yours. So
Yeah.
the educational system that Olumide is bringing, we are going to see fundamental changes to curriculum. We are going to see fundamental reform and improvement on infrastructure, roads, lights, areas where you can't get grid power supply. You are going to see provision of alternative power supply, because the laboratories have got to function. The equipment for acquiring skills got to function. Olumide has made it clear to me personally, we are going to have what we call on-the-job training in the industry, as we used to have in the industry, on-the-job training in the tertiary institutions. There is going to be encouragement and funding of massive research in our institutions of higher learning. And
Yeah.
those researches are going to be targeted towards Edo economy. A university is going to of technology and entrepreneurial studies is going to be established in Edo North, in Akoko Edo to be specific. That
Michael
university,
Shaw, Michael Shaw, thank you very much. You have said a lot on education. I'm just conscious of time because I want us to, by the time we end this program, to have touched on every part. And the next we'll be talking about will be healthcare. Dr. Oro and Igbeomo, they'll get ready. But I just want to come to you, Comrade Lamte. You are the man in the local government, and we see what education is in Edo State. And the current government pride it as Edo Best. And on paper, Edo Best is doing well, even internationally recognized. And only a few days ago, the governor was on a campaign train and he was trying to mock the APC candidate. And he said if Edo Best was available, the APC candidate would have been educated and be able to have passed through Edo Best. So, Comrade, as you wrap up on education, well, why is Olumide worrying himself? We have Edo Best. It's really best.
My brother, Governor Baseki is a mockery to governance, with all due respect. And we are no longer children. When you ask a proper hunter, say, what did you kill? He will say, "Sian for ground." He's not going to tell you, "I killed antelope" or "I killed a grass cutter." I think, I've described the government of Obaseki as a government of optics. And what the man has been able to do is to bamboozle all of those people. Today, you see how we disagree with ourselves, because a lot of people still don't understand the emptiness of this cosmetic governance that we are getting. Now, what Obaseki has done with Edo Best, which,
Yeah,
by the
Comrade,
way,
I want to be conscious of time.
yeah, I am. By the way, what some people describe the Edo Best structure, okay, as a conduit for siphoning the resources of Edo State. World Bank donated money to Edo Best. Edo Best has got a lot of resources from Edo State government. So many donations have come to Edo Best. And what we can have from Edo Best is Governor Baseki taking one or two schools, modeling them into what he discovers Edo Best, and using it to represent the entire state. You are a living witness to one of our colleagues who was chasing the commissioner for education, around over one school in Esanlan, a whole school with not less than 200 children, one teacher. And they said they needed more teachers. Up until last year, that matter was still being chased up. Olumide went to a particular place in the same Esanlan, a particular village, and saw the state of a school, and he wept. As a matter of fact, he quickly, deployed resources to ensure that school is put in place. Go round. You are an old student of a secondary school. I am an old student of a secondary school. Today, in my own secondary school, it is we, the old boys of my school, that are donating monies to ensure that that school is still functional, to replace a bus and every other thing. Go to Selu Secondary School. Go to Ijoba Secondary School. Go to a college. Go to Adolo. Go to Egosa. Go to all of these, traditional primary school, secondary schools that we know, and ask the people, the teachers there, the presence of a best in these schools. So at the end of the day, Olumide has seen that this is a charade of the highest order. Using one small element that you call your Edo best, using it to represent everything. So Olumide doesn't want to see that structure because there is nothing best in the nomenclature Edo best as far as Edo State is concerned. And Olumide is proposing something different. We cannot have Edo best. And today, the number of out-of-school children now in Edo State, they are more than they were 8 years ago. You and I, you know that we have a program that we are taking out-of-school children out of the streets, put them back to school. We are sponsoring children that time in school, children that either had no way of going to school. They were hawking. Today, we have put many of them back to school. But we can't do everything as private individuals. You are a living witness to that program. You understand what I'm saying now? Today, we have a lot more children out of school in Edo State. You can have Edo best and you have your children out of school. It's undone. It's a crime against humanity in Edo State.
Yeah.
Olumide has said, it's part of the education infrastructure. Okay, it is going to be a law propounded compulsorily that every child of Edo descent must at least attend primary and secondary school. That is a given, my brother. That is a given, and we cannot joke with that. And he has said that we cannot place that burden on parents or the children. Primary education has to be free at every. Today they say primary school education is free. For the children we are brought back to school, my brother. Okay, we are paying as much as the chalk when they used to the rights. We are the tuition fee not there. You understand what I'm saying? But even government primary schools, you have to pay for this paper. At the end of the day, go back to the pay tuition fee. This is not where we say we get to do best. So I think that the framework currently that we have, my brother, is not sustainable. Olumide has come to eradicate this framework and rejig the entire system and make education more functional in those states and place us again at that level we used to be in the days of Ali and the days of Ugbemudia. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you so much. I wouldn't have forgiven myself if I didn't allow you to put your mouth in this education because I know that's where it really bites. But I'm conscious of time and I want us to touch all these aspects small by small. So as we respond, let's be conscious so that we can give people that time to talk. I'm going straight to healthcare. Let's just do that quickly. But on healthcare, I'm just going to call on Dr. Oro to say a word or two on that because that's very clear. Healthcare in the entire Africa, Nigeria, and indeed those states is really moribund. At the last count, the current administration promised that they were going to establish healthcare facility in all the 192 wards in the local Edo State, and they will have a big one in every local government. Dr. Oro, I know you so well. You had a very fantastic education in Nigeria, the old Bende State, and you proceeded to the University of Benin to study medicine. And you no better person on the platform just now to talk about healthcare. What excites you about healthcare just with this manifesto?
Thank you very much. This is my area. Very, very passionate about healthcare and improving healthcare. And I must say that Olu, with his manifesto, has demonstrated a complete understanding of what it takes to build a healthcare system. Because if you look at his manifesto, he's so concerned about access, and he's making his promise. This is his word, it's in his Bible, that he would actually build primary healthcare centers in the 192 wards in that state. So what that does initially is to give access. What that does, is to prevent, more serious conditions affecting, people up and down, Edo State. And what that is a foundation in terms of building a network, that's a healthcare system now, a foundation for the system, because where he now goes from there to talk about the staff, he was very intentional, very deliberate to say, look, I want to attract the best healthcare workers available. This is in addition to the system later on training healthcare workers. But he says, look, I want to attract them, I want to employ them. And guess what? I want to aggressively train them. I want to upskill them. I want them to have satisfaction in what they, in what they do. And I also know, speaking to him privately, that he even wants to make Edo State a model. Whereas because he wants remuneration for healthcare workers to be, to be something that would even make other states around Edo State envy what he's trying to do. But he doesn't stop there. He even goes into healthcare insurance, because he knows that affordability is a big issue, especially for Edo State. So he wants to even expand the existing healthcare insurance, and he's made deliberate efforts in his manifesto to say, look, the less privileged amongst us, the disabled, the pregnant women, the children under 5, and I know the elderly will be added, to the mix as well. He wants to make sure that the healthcare system that would be, that the coverage that they will have would be quite extensive and comprehensive, which fits into the Labour Party manifesto, where there's that constant promise to look after mama, papa, and pikin. Now, you can't even talk about healthcare without even looking at all the other things we've been talking about, security, education. But with his administration, he's even made it very clear that, look, I want to attract the right investors in healthcare to come and reside around, to come and set up in Edo State, because he wants Edo State to be a model. There's even a revolutionary idea of, actually, you can now see, is not talking about the foundation and emergency response system. That is unheard of, because we know it does not exist. He's now thinking ahead. This is futuristic now, to look at getting an emergency service, an ambulance service, not just in paper, but that would exist, to meet the needs of people in Edo State. Then you have more exciting parts. The part that would even excite me the most is where he's now talking about the necessary collaborations with Edo, healthcare professionals in diaspora. He wants to get them involved in improving healthcare in Edo State. If I have one criticism, the criticism was that he said he wants to involve just medical professionals in diaspora of Edo origin, but I'll fight him for that. Why? I'm from Delta State, but I will be part of it. I believe it's an open invitation. It shouldn't just be just for people from healthcare professionals from all of us who are interested. We are ready to get involved. So that it means that a consultant in Manchester, in Houston, with the technology, because don't forget, those that spoke about education, ICT, making sure that Edo State is a hub for educating people to be skilled in ICT is very crucial. And those are the kind of skills that will make healthcare professionals, even abroad, be involved day to day in managing complex cases back at home in Edo State. So it is really, really revolutionary. It is really, really exciting. And, we will do all we can, to support him and make sure that this becomes a reality.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oro. You have really read that manifesto. As you were saying it, I was remembering how I was moving stuff, reading it again and again and again. I think you're very clear. But again, what do you expect from a man whose father is and still remains a medical doctor, even if he's aged now, And like Olu would always say, I have been to hospital, I've been a patient more than anybody in Edo State. So he understands it. I think that's where understanding really comes from. We will be talking
Now,
about, thank you so much, Dr. Oro, for that. We'll be talking about the second pillar, which has to do with roads and related infrastructure just after our advert and interlude. Come Lamte.
N'ezie Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata nke Labour Party otu pati njirimara Peter Obi bụ onye ọtụtụ ụmụafọ Edo steeti kwụrụ chim n'azụ ka ọ bụrụ gọvanọ ha na Edo steeti ma nwoke ma nwaanyị ụmụafọ Igbo na-akwado Olumide Akpata nke ukwuu n'ihi na ọ bụ ya ka Peter Obi na Alex Oti gọvanọ Abia steeti kwadoro. Peter Obi na gọvanọ Oti kwenyere kpamkpam na naanị Olumide Akpata n'ime ndị ọzọ na-azọ ọkwa onye isi Edo steeti bụ onye nwere ikike ichekwa mmasị ọdịmma na ọganihu ụmụafọ Edo na ndị Igbo niile bi na Edo steeti. Ha maara na ọhụrụ ndị Igbo n'anya nke a mere Oti na Obi na ọtụtụ ndị isi ndị Igbo ji akpọku ndị Igbo niile bi na Edo steeti ka ha pụta n'igwe kwado Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata nke Labour Party ka gọvanọ Edo steeti n'ụbọchị ịtụ vootu. Ndị Labour Party na-eme ihe dị ukwuu maka ndị Abia. Ha ga-emere onye ọbụla bi na Edo steeti nke ọma ma ọ bụrụ na ha nwee nkwado siri ike ga-eme ka ha merie. Ya bụ ka anyị niile jikọọ aka chụ pati ndị ọzọ butere mmadụ niile bi na Edo steeti ihe isi ike na ahụhụ kemgbe afọ 25 gara aga. Tụnyere Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata ka gọvanọ Edo steeti. Tụnyere Labour Party. Labour Party!
Mama, Papa, begin.
LP
77.
LP
78.
LP
1 million.
Bam.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I really love that advert. It's still on the issue of the manifesto of the Labour Party and Olumide's agreement and contract with the Edo State people. We are still talking about the 8 pillars, and we've talked about 4 of them. In quick succession, I want to go to the second one, which is roads and related infrastructure. I'm conscious of time, but viewers and friends of the Comrade Show, I want to say that I was particularly very touched with the example, and there was a visual and somebody's face on that, talking of one of the cousins to Olumide, who himself is a transporter and runs a transport business from Benin to Delta State. And he said in past times he used to do 3 trips. Now, because of bad roads, he barely do 1 trip. And this is a man with children, family, and other needs to meet. That mirror the example that many people have been suffering. Dr. Igbo Amorodion, roads and related infrastructure, especially roads. In your time, they are talking of federal, state, local government, and even family road. How did you see that?
Thank you so much for bringing me back on. You know, gone are the days when we can drive in Edo State and expect not to be bumped around in our vehicles. Today, we are sitting ducks in those huge potholes. That's where kidnappers come and catch people. You are a sitting duck. Where else can you go? Are you going to speed through huge gully roads that even heavy SUVs cannot go through slowly? It's not possible, especially if you have a flat car. Now, we talked about agriculture, education. How are you going to get into the farms? How are you going to repatriate the produce from the farms without road network? We need the roads, but we don't have them. The other thing is they've spent so much money on roads, yet when it rains, there is no way home. You only need to go to Ugbowo. You won't be able to come back to Central Benin if it rains in between. So we can see what is happening, and some of the good things, to be fair, that Oshomole did in his time in terms of drainage, they've all been blocked. There is no maintenance. And, you know, the roads are so bad now that people don't even know who to turn to. Then we have these issues. Look at the cost of putting a signboard to say this is a federal road, bear with us. It's enough money to put granite and close off those bad areas in the road. And then, if possible, claim that money back from the federal government. Not to talk of something that is even more common sense, that is fix the road first, because it's your people that are suffering. If not for the sake of insecurity, for the sake of goods and services that needs to get to where they need to be. So our road infrastructures are extremely dilapidated. They are in a sorry state. And Olumide Akpata's revolutionary program to revitalize it is simple. What he's saying is, we are going to get contractors, we are going to look at our budget, and we are going to say to them every year within the confines of our budget, how many kilometers can we get out of it? And it's a running thing. There is no government that's going to be able to tap all the roads in Edo State from one budget, or probably in one government. But that's the idea, that continuously the roads will be maintained, revamped. Those that are really dilapidated will be, reconstructed on a continuous basis from a fixed budget, in which case a particular percentage of the state budget is fixed for repairs. And these contractors are paid based on the quality and the number of kilometers that have been pre-agreed with the government. This is the only way we are going to get anywhere. And therefore, Akpata's manifesto is common sense yet extremely strategic. So I'm not going to waste too much time because we've spent so much time, but this is the way we want to take it. Otherwise, I don't see what the government is doing. What they are doing is they tar the road within 2 years. Before they leave government, the road is bad. The next government comes into power, tar the same road before they leave. So it's just a continuous waste of our time and resources. I will leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Osaigbovo. Common sense, but extremely strategic. And I want to say, I haven't gone through this manifesto as many times myself. This is one place where the Olumide campaign team actually put a timeline and made a promise. And Comrade Show Comilante, we are going to hold Olumide responsible for this. And I want to read it. It says, we shall launch a road master plan to upgrade within 18 months selected key roads that can help unlock the economy. That is one part where there is timeline and there is specificity. And I'm surprised. I haven't been born and grow up in Benin. Why is it that we don't even have flyover in Ramat Park? Why? So not only roads, but flyover. But he has identified that, as he said, roads are related infrastructure. We're not going to waste any time on that. I'm going straight to you, Comrade Lamte, to look at number 3 agenda of its agreement or contract, talking about electricity and energy access. You have been a strong supporter of Alex Oti, who has changed Abia State, specifically Aba, to something else. Put your mouth on electricity and energy access, a third line agenda item for the Olumide campaign organization and agreement with those states. But Comilante, I must warn you, be cautious of time.
I want to thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist. We're going to try. You see, each time, we are discussing Olumide like this, I'm really, really very excited. I'm excited for the man I've come to know in Olumide and for the prospect of his governance. You see, today we praise Alex Oti. Do you know, I honestly believe very strongly that when Olumide, God willing, by the grace of God, is elected the governor of Edo State, Olumide is going to outshine Oti and everybody. Oti is doing very, very well. Okay? But I can tell you that, the hunger in Olumide is very strong. Olumide said, as a matter of fact, I think Olumide is one of the most joyous human beings that, the issue of electricity, energy, and all power has been, put on the concurrent list, which means that the states can legislate on this. Okay? And Olumide has said that if Aba can have a 247 electricity, there is no way we cannot tap into everything available to give steady power to Benin City and begin to extend it to other parts of Benin City. And you know where this matter gets interesting? Olumide has said that in his government, he's not going to situate the office of the governor in just Benin City. Okay? He said he wants to ensure that governors will go around the state senatorial district. That's the head of government. We go around the three senatorial district. You understand? Maybe on a quarterly basis, which means that when you go to Sadebe Avenue, maybe between January and March, Olumide is going to be in Benin City. Later, they are going to move to Esa Central and be there for a number of months. Okay, and then they'll move from there again to Edo North. You understand what I'm saying now? To be there for a number of months. They want to revolve government. And whenever the seat of government is anywhere, you want to ensure that everything around that place is stable at that time. So Olumide clear vision for power, for electricity and power generation is very clear, my brother. And it is one that rekindles hope. It is one that we cannot just toy with, because Olumide's manifesto on all of these things, they are pregnant with a lot of things that we don't need to toy with. You understand? And I'm speaking directly to those who are probably undecided, for those who are probably not being their searchlight on the candidacy of Olumide, and of course, enjoy the hope that we currently see in the Olumide campaign. I am very, happy that given the plans that Olumide have for electricity, my brother, businesses will return back to Edo State. You know, so again, this one is not fear. If Olumide is able to put through with this, believe me, all of those big industries you see in Lagos, see in Abuja, see everywhere else, many of them will relocate to Edo State, because many of them are actually wasting so much on fuel and diesel to power their generator. But if Olumide is able to stabilize power in Benin, in Edo State, in Ekpoma, in Irua, in Auchi, in Inonwa, everywhere, my brother, Edo State will not just be the food basket of the nation. Edo State will equally be the technology hub. You understand what I'm saying? The economic hub of the Nigerian state. And I trust that Olumide is going to outshine everybody that's come before him. And you know the beautiful thing about Olumide, as much as he no reach, Olumide they listen. They learn more, they tap from everybody, from everywhere, to add join the one we don't already get, to make a better place. So I think that this is an opportunity we must take, that we cannot take for granted. I'm very hopeful and optimistic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Komilante, for staying within time and doing justice to that. I think electricity and energy access is very important. The Osiomos and all those stuff that we heard about that never materialized, hopefully, by the grace of God, in September and November, when Olu take over the realm of governance in Edo State, all this will come to fall. I also think that two things are very important, especially on this pillar. One, we have a governor already of Labour Party who is showing example. So there's something to learn from. And above all, Olumide himself has played a very key role in electricity and energy access, being a corporate lawyer. So you understand the legal terminologies. So I think he is better suited. And I think that being the third pillar of his arrangement is not by coincidence at all. I must thank you, viewers. I must thank you, our friends and our special guests in the room. You guys have done so well to all the topics. We are gradually getting there. I'm conscious of time, but I'm also happy that we'll be able, in the course of today's program, to look at the 8th agenda. And I probably left the number one for this discussion. And like I said, the 8th item excites me more because it talked about other essential infrastructure. But let's go straight to look at economy and job creation. In fact, this is number one in the arrangement or agreement or contract by the Olumide campaign team. Economy and job creation. And I must say that Dr. Oro mentioned this slightly when he was talking about healthcare. It was about diving into IT and all that stuff that we generate. Dr. Oro, I know you are a doctor, but doctor knows everything because they are all involved. A sound economy is a healthy economy. A sound economy is a healthy people. And when jobs are created, people are indeed happy. How do you see this economy and job creation? Olu wants to create job for everybody. Is it possible? Do you like it? Are you excited?
I am super excited. Everything, all the other parts of the manifesto that we've been talking about, indirectly, we've been talking about job creation, whether it's in the area of agriculture, whether it's in the area of healthcare. If you're building roads all over the state, you're creating jobs. If you are improving the schools, the infrastructure around education, you are creating jobs. So you see, and like you said, Olumide has a specific, very, very specific and intentional ambition to make Edo State the ICT capital of Nigeria. And that is, and that is going to be flooded with jobs. So everything that we have been talking about so far is all gearing up, towards making Edo State a place to be at.
Dr. Oro, Dr. Oro, as you answer this question, remember the current government has no jobs.
Yes, but just like Comrade Lampton says, uh, the current government is existing. Certain things are existing on paper, but they are not existing on the ground. And and everybody has eyes to see. Everybody has ears to hear. So all this talk we have been talking, since 1999, people have been bringing one manifesto after the other. But we are talking of a manifesto that will become real, that people will see with their eyes, that people will touch with their hands. That is the revolution that Olumide Akpata is trying to bring to the Edo State. And it's my prayer that the good people of Edo State will realize what is in front of them. Olu is not a normal. I've known him since we were children. He's not a normal person. He's a once in a generation person. So some people they don't fully understand, but we will keep preaching the message because at some point it will sink in. So with everything he's saying, it is deliberate because he wants to make Edo State, such a fantastic place, and everything is geared towards improving the economy. He knows about the gas reserves that we have in Orion. That is one of the largest, inland gas reserves, and is ready to tap into it. So everything he has been doing leading up to this is, even his experience as a very top commercial lawyer in the country, all that experience is bringing to Edo State because he knows what the things are, where those things, what to do to start to unlock the economy. Edo State is a state with so much potential. But for the last 25 years, since democracy came back, we have not seen it. It's just remained a potential. So Olumide is really bringing something special. And the economy is at the heart of it because every other thing we've discussed they are all in their own different ways going to boost the economy of the state and make Edo State the place to be.
Thank you, Dr. Oro. Prince Egbe, I know you've done lots of business in Nigeria. I know some frustration. I know you would have done lots of stuff. Now, economy and job. There is Edo jobs. What is Olumide talking about? Are you excited with that caveat? Being number one, economy and job. Is it relevant or important at this moment?
Thank you so much. You see, I'm feeling very emotional about this subject because Edo used to have a very strong economy until since the past 25 years, they've killed it. As I speak to you now, Edo State is under a debt burden of almost 600 billion naira. In the past 8 years, they've borrowed almost 500 billion naira. That excludes the federal allocation. That excludes internally generated revenue. That excludes the additional money that is paid for oil, what do you call them? Oil states. Let me put it down.
Derivation.
Oil derivation. So as I speak, we are supposed to be very rich, but we are under a huge debt that children yet unborn of Edo citizens yet unborn, they are already owing a lot of money. And before I go into what Akpata is going to do, let me bring another angle. There is a body that is called the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC. What they did was they rated states in Nigeria, the best of them to do business. Edo State was ranked the worst state to do business. 37 over 37. And our governor is there sitting down, seeing such statistics. This is an independent body. This is not Olu Akpata or myself playing politics now. This is a federal body saying the worst state to do business in Nigeria is Edo State. How can you talk about economy in the worst state to do business? Who is going to employ the people if there are no businesses? Small and medium scale enterprises. If they don't exist in a state, how are you going to talk about employment? So as where we are right now, for me, like I said, as an economist, being a finance expert, is extremely, I don't know the word to use. That's how bad it is. It's so frustrating that we are where we are. When you think that we have an expert in the office that calls himself a technocrat, and then you have the young man coming out now who calls himself Aswe Udalu, a man I respect so much, who's been the head of the economic advisory team of the current government for 8 years. And our state is like this. Our state is ridiculed as the worst state to do business. Now, what is Akpata going to do about it? First and foremost, we've talked about the agricultural revolution that is going to be employing over 300,000 young people. That will almost mop up all the unemployed who wants to go into agriculture. Then we are going to encourage small and large-scale businesses. We are going to be working, interacting with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. And the government is going to be issuing secure bonds. So when you want to do business in Edo, one of the greatest fears people in diaspora have is, I'm not there. They are going to eat my money. You will have guarantees, and the government is setting up a body to money. So many businesses will be springing up. You only need like 2,000 pounds to start a business, because that will give you 4 million naira. A restaurant business, hairdressing salon, what do you call them, boutique, whatever. So businesses will spring up, and with the electricity, the power sector that we mentioned, even a primary three student can start business. Put water inside the freezer, go and sell ice block the next day. That is what power will give you. So unemployment, we will deal with it. In terms of economy, we will start to, first and foremost, Akpata has agreed that he is going to audit the state account. So some of the money that is hiding in some places, we will find them to reduce our debts. Yeah. We are going to renegotiate some of the debts. Many of the banks know what happened. These things are going to come up. These are ways we are going to revitalize the state economically. And then once unemployment is reduced to extremely manageable level, people will be paying tax. So Edo State economy is about to take off. As it is now, you can compare it that we are already, this is the worst we can be. He who is down needs fear no fall. We can't fall below where we are already. Of course. So the best that can happen, we are going to take off. Then the good news is we are not just taking off. Akpata intend to put Edo State back at the top 5 states to do business in Edo State. As we speak now, many of my friends who do business in Edo, one, they are running away. Those who are not running away are complaining about too much tax. Tax from here, tax from there, tax from here every day. So once we eliminate all those unnecessary loopholes and unnecessary taxation, we are going to have a very smooth and simple taxation system in place. So these are things that are going to boost our economy and create employment for our people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Osaigbovo. Can I beg you, you know that statistic that you gave to say that Edo State is last in the ease of doing business? Please, can you make it available? It will be good for us to let the people know, because MOU and MOU arrangement are sort of covered some arrangement, and like we said, is shiny, but little or no substance. Ladies and gentlemen, friends of the Comrade Show, today's program is so buzzing and exciting. I can see lots of comments on our various handles. Thank you guys for the comments. People are not ranking because they are listening to us with rapt attention. We are looking at the manifesto of Barrister Olumide Akpata as he asks for your vote to become governor come September 21, 2024. We've looked at the pillars and we've left with one. And like I said in the intro, that's very interesting for me. Other essential infrastructure. We are going to take a little advert now. And when we come back, Comrade Mike Ocho will start talking about that as we wrap up today's program.
Labour Party. Ona givieto ya. Gele givieto mensona nechebe. Party ni magwalo. Labour Party. Ona givieto ya. Gele nejebe Party ni magwalo
Enwata no Labour Party otu ni mani viedoze no orima otu ne Peter Obi ye ona otu no ga setiru agbapa kevo maye otedo mani viedo manemi no bugbe wo bakari oba no ga mani makeve mo magwalo ọnwa nọga setiru na hia yẹn n'ọgọ bi ma otima Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata ọga rue awọ gbogbo ga mẹ iyobo neva eme na kpọwe ya owu isimiegbe garọ ukpaga babe he ya ọga wiyobigo neva ni dueki irima ga yesuku nọ ma okwu ikpata visi ga nọkìyàn be ya na eyari si yo wariazene Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata ari yere ìpísẹ̀ yan gene pati nike dovebo na iya ma ru ebi rọpa iya ma gbetu fiele ọ̀nà hia yi ma ya fẹ́ riazene oviedo oviesesese Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata n'ọla diame Labour Party n'ọyera bi ye wọn mọ ya nwa igbe ari yere Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata Peter Obi ze o wariazene Labour Party osata ene o.
Labour Party Party ni magwalo
Welcome back, Party ni Magalo. I love that advert. I'm conscious of time, but I want to thank you, our distinguished panelists. You guys have been fantastic. We said we're going to end this program at 6:30, but it doesn't look like that. But hopefully we can do it in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And going to the very last arrangement or agreement of Barrister Olumide Akpata with the Edo State people. And like I said, I loved it. Other essential infrastructure, which to me means that it's open-ended. Even if the team has put a few things there, which I think is very important. Things like water resources, digital technology, erosion and flood control. Because we know that some part of our state, at least around the central area of Edo State, they suffer with lots of water problem and all that stuff. So I love it. Michael Shaw, you are an engineer. No fitting person to talk about this. But be conscious of time. Other related infrastructure. What do you think was in the mind of Olumide and the team in putting this as the last agenda?
Yeah, thank you so much. Like Doctor said earlier on, you discovered that development of Edo economy, development of human capital in Edo State are all intertwined with infrastructural development and other aspects of Olumide's wonderful manifesto. Talking about water resources, you quite agree with me that after talking about light in terms of resources, infrastructural development, you should naturally go to water, because water here flows into the health of the people. We are talking about cholera, you are talking about some other diseases. Doctor is in the house. You know that it is important for us to have portable, clean water for people to drink. And Olumide is aware that those state government, even in the days of Oshomole's government, had what we call industrial drilling rigs. Those industrial drilling rigs mounted on trailers, were deployed in very few areas. But you will ask yourself, if Edo State has industrial drilling rig, how come that especially in Edo Central and Edo North, Edo citizens cannot get water to drink? So, but as at the last check, Michael Shaw was asking question, where did drilling rigs come dey? I have not been able to get an answer, because when Oriaki talked about a 419 government, you will discover that when you go to the current ministries to go and get information, nobody will give you information until they know that you are part of the government. If you go to the website, you will see that many of the websites of Edo State government, they are not opening. So we have water under the manifesto. You have provisions where water reticulation system in terms of network of water flow will be addressed by Olumide's government. Olumide will provide water in the Tiri senatorial district. for such that the federal projects, like we have a big public water works, we have in Benin, we have in Edo Central, we also have in Edo North, where you hear of the Ojirame Dam, and then the one at Isan Land, I personally visited it myself. Those are big projects that I told some people myself that this project cannot be handled by Edo State government alone. Olumide knows that. So if you look at his manifesto, Olumide is going to partner with development experts and the federal government to ensure that public water works, the way we used to know it when we were children, will be brought back. Why what we are used to, which is normal borehole drilling, we are going to get hold of our drilling rates, and then we are going to spread that across the three senatorial districts. We need potable drinking water for the home. We also need commercial water supply for businesses. And of course, we need water for irrigation. Olumide wants to do all year-round farming. How is that going to be sustainable if we are not going to have water supply? You talked about, you mentioned digital infrastructural development. We have heard of fiber optics. We are aware that the current government has talked so much about fiber optics. But what they have not succeeded in doing is extending these fiber optics to the entire 18 local governments in Edo State. Olumide wants to extend these fiber optics first to all tertiary institutions, not just public civil service building, especially needed in tertiary institutions where the internet today is a big resource for research work to be done. So digital infrastructure, Olumide is going to ensure that this digital infrastructure is available, especially to the youth. As an engineer, I will tell you today that there are so many machines and equipment that I have personally gotten involved in development by using simple YouTube knowledge. There is a lot of information, engineering information today, training and what have you, and on the internet through YouTube, that Olumide's government is interested in developing digital infrastructure for the benefits of our people. Now, we can't talk enough about erosion and erosion control in Edo State. I am talking to you now from Edo North. My Edo North has been ravaged, seriously, even my community, by erosion. Why is it like that? What is the Ministry of Environment doing? There is no more care for the environment. If you leave the land bare to the elements, if you leave the land bare to erosion, the land will give way, and our environment, even our roads, will also give way. That is why, like my colleague mentioned earlier on, the development of a drainage system is very important. And Olumide's government is interested in tackling erosion by putting in all the engineering infrastructures to ensure, one, bare open lands. We are going to have what we used to call Bahama grasses or carpet grasses planted everywhere. It does not only add beauty to the environment, it also protects the topsoil against erosion, protects the farmlands against erosion. So I will just want to stop here because of time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michael Shaw. Ladies and gentlemen, friends of the Comrade Show, it has been your darling program, The Comrade and Friends. I will be on air for the last 1 hour, 34 minutes, going to 35 minutes, looking at the manifesto of the Labour Party and the agreement and contract that Barrister Olumide Akpata, the Labour Party governorship candidate, wants to share with us, and asking us to hold him responsible as he begs for our vote to become our governor in the election coming up September 21, 2024, and his subsequent taking over office in November. We've looked at it very diligently, being conscious of time, but to agree that this agreement, if totally followed, will change the Edo State for the best. We talked about economy and job creation. We look at roads and related infrastructure, electricity and energy access, agriculture and food security, education, healthcare, security of lives and property. And like I said, the one that excites me most, other essential infrastructure. I'm particularly excited because that covers most of the water problem we have. Growing up as a child, I used to hear of the Osaigbovo Dam and even the Boren Water Works in the central part of Edo State. All this will be looked into, and many other ones that fall into that. I am excited. I think you are. If you want Edo State to change, I think it's very important that we look into this very well, get a copy, and once Olumide becomes our governor, we'll be reminding him every day to make sure he sticks to the manifesto. And like somebody said, Olumide is one man in a lifetime. He keeps to his promises, and we are sure this time around things indeed will be different. For many people that have contributed your remarks and comments, we really appreciate it. We are winding down now, but I'm going to go back to Dr. Oro as we wind down. Thank you so much for your time today. What will be your parting shot to our teaming viewers on the manifesto of our brother, our friend, Barrister Olumide Akpata?
Well, my parting shot would be that we have a brilliant manifesto in front of the Edo people. But most importantly, we have a brilliant, caring, and compassionate man called Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata, who, as we say in Delta State, is Toknadu. What he says, he will do. And he is appealing for your votes, to get him to Dennis Osadebe house, come November 2024. He has credibility, he has integrity, and he is so passionate about his state because he had every reason not to be bothered coming to Edo State, leaving the comfort of his flourishing legal practice. But he's giving all that up for you guys to say, you know what, let us change the trajectory of this state. Let's change the direction and let's make this place better, even for generation unborn.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oro. Viewers of the Comrade Show, I must tell you, Dr. Oro did not know Olumide when he was rich or became a full-fledged man. He went to secondary school with him and they've been friends for a long time and also went to university together. I'm going to call on Michael Shaw, another person who was also in the university the same time as Olumide Akpata. Myself and Comrade were not fortunate to meet him in university. But these guys are talking as friends that once dined in buka and cafeterias across schools in the
great Uniben.
Great. So Michael Shaw, your parting shot on this issue of manifesto.
Thank you very much. You have cemented it very well. In Olumide, University of Benin, we have the opportunity to give University of Benin UniBest to Edo State governance. And what the manifesto he has brought forward is most exciting to me. Like I usually argue, all the other manifestos and the other parties believe in neoliberalism. Our concept of social democracy, which is of the Labour Party, an ideology that resonates all over the world, where workers and masses have come together to build a political party, are all encapsulated in Olumide's manifesto. And what is it? It is simply Papa, Mama, and Pikin. And that is what the manifesto is talking about. Edo people, vote for this man. Vote for Labour Party, if not for anything, because he has the best manifesto and he is the best individual to execute that manifesto to transform Edo State like never before.
Thank you so much, Engineer Michael Shaw, strong member of the Labour Party, former president, Student Union Government, University of Benin. I must also say that special appreciation to Prince Dr. Egbe Omodion, who started this program with us but had to leave to attend to other things in other local government, or towards democratic process in our dear Edo State. We want to say appreciation to Prince Dr. Egbe Omodio. Comrade are coming to you. I know you have a lot to say, but I'm conscious of time. What is your parting shot to our viewers today as we discuss the manifesto of your guy?
Yes, Edo State people and Nigerians across the world. For me, the time is now. We've got 20 days to election. And all some of us have always tried to fight for is to fight for somebody who's going to champion our cause. We have never had a champion in the government house of Edo State. If we did, the economy will not be hurting as it is right now. We will not be suffering the way we are suffering right now. If you truly go around the state, you'll find out that you cannot easily reach all parts of Edo State because there are no roads. There are roads, but the roads are in very bad shape. Insecurity is plaguing us so badly. Our farmers cannot go to farms. If you live in Edo State, you can see how unbearable, life has become. The cost of living is unbearable. Many of you are living it. We have had PDP and APC govern Edo State for 25 years. And the result is what we have right now. And as a matter of fact, even while this result is this bad, we still see how they insult us, particularly the APC. At the end of the day, for the PDP and APC, I always describe them as two sides of the same coin. So there is no way we can do the same thing the same way and expect a different result. The Benima says, if you do not eat panedian because it is panedian, eat panedian because of the soup. Right now, if you don't believe at all, you have seen 99 in APC and seen 99 in PDP. What is left in 100? This time, let us display that willingness to try something else. Olu has never been a politician. He has never been in government. Nobody can come out to say, man, we can finger him. He was part of this government contract or the other. He has never been anywhere near politics. He's a newcomer. Governor Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata will surely be a governor without a godfather. Will surely be a governor who will understand that he's governor because the people of Edo State made him the governor of Edo State. We truly need that power to be able to say, yes, we are installing this person. If this person fails in 4 years, we equally have the power to say, we are putting this person out. So we have a chance to try something else that we have not tried in the last 25 years. Olumide represents that chance. Labour Party represents that chance. Let's give this a shot. Nobody has come out to say the man does not have integrity. Nobody has come out to say, man, the man is a thief. Nobody has come out to say the man is not competent. And what do you need in politics and governance? You need trustworthiness. You need competence. And most of all, you need somebody who will truly follow the democratic tenets and ethos. And what are those democratic tenets and ethos? They are all entrenched in the definition of democracy. A government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And Olu is coming under Labour Party, which is a government of Mama, Papa, and Pikin. All of these are all part of the people that democracy is talking about. Let us do this, not for Olu, for ourselves, for Edo State. And of course, let us believe that a new dawn has come and a dream in Edo State is born. Let's make this a reality for the brighter future of Edo State. May God bless you, and may God bless Edo State and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Let's make Edo and give Edo a new dawn. Papa, Mama, Pikin. Thank you, gentlemen. CNC Komilante Pawosariaki, Engineer Mike Osho, and Dr. Oro. It's been your darling program, The Comrade and Friends. Stay tuned. I will be with you next week.
Experience account for this life. No experience, no progress. For this election, experience go vote. Make Edo State better. Now who get the experience? So Olumide, cha. Akpata. Now a guy, Osaigbovo. He ready to walk, Akpata. Promise keeper, Olumide. Everybody like him, Akpata. Everybody vote, vote, Osaigbovo. Vote, vote, Akpata.
My good people of Edo State, our eye don't say as everything be now. The sofa don't too much. Now Olumide Akpata will get experience and him ready to work to make Edo State better again. Now we go vote. Olumide say our children's school go better well. Hospital go work, medicine go dey yamfu. Good road, light, water, all go dey kampe. Security na pamba. Him go support farmer, traders. Well, make food jablata. Olumide Akpata. Now our guy, everybody vote, 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 vote. Akpata. Vote Olumide Akpata for governor. Vote Labour Party.